What is up, everybody? And well, welcome back to the channel after for the first time, I guess, after years of doing the Sonic Marathon. Feels weird. I know I did a couple games like in between the marathon that weren't Sonic related, but I don't know, it just kind of feels weird because I've been stuck. Oh man, I forgot to press start. I've been stuck doing the Sonic Marathon since like what, 2020, 2021. But here we are now playing the first game after the marathon that is not Sonic related. So as you can see, I'm playing Burnout, and you know, after I finished the Sonic Marathon with Sonic X Shadow Generations, I was really contemplating what I wanted to do. There's a lot of games I wanted to get out of the way, or that I'd like to play, but I don't know. I mean, after doing a whole marathon of Sonic, and then honestly like the last 3 Sonic games kind of being I'm not gonna say Sonic X Shadow Generations was long. I mean, Sonic Frontiers was pretty long. But, I don't know, I figured I'd start something simple. You know, a simple game. You know, after doing Sonic, like I said, I know a lot of you guys watching are Sonic fans, and maybe like, maybe not a lot of people might watch this video or this playthrough series that I'm gonna do after this. I mean, I just want to do something simple, basic, and then also like, so you guys can already tell that like from this channel, I'm a huge Sonic fan, and I'm also a big Resident Evil fan, but I'm actually a huge racing fan too. I'm a huge car guy. I love cars. Cars are probably like my second favorite passion behind video games. And I know I've always wanted to do racing games on my channel. There's a lot of racing games I could pick from, but I wanted to start with something simple, and I figured the first Burnout game would be perfect for that. Let's see here. Oh no. Yeah, I think I'm gonna change this. I like this configuration better. Yeah, so I'm gonna be playing. Okay. Yeah, so I figured I'd go with the first Burnout game because it's a very simple arcade racer, and I think it's a good game to kind of just like ease us into the to ease us into like racing games in this on this channel. And also I think it's a good game to just kind of like unwind after like the years of this Sonic Marathon that I've been doing for a while now. So yeah, that's what I figured. So we'll start with the first Burnout game. It's very simple, very easy, so I'm gonna pick the Supermini as my car of choice. I don't know what color I want. Let's go with red. Well, let's go with white, I guess. Let's drive with manual because I like driving using manual in games. I used to not like to do that because I thought it was too hard, but I played enough racing games that like I found a lot of games way too easy with automatic, so I like to challenge myself, especially this game. This game is like super easy, or not easy, Easy is not the right word. It's too simple because it really is a simplistic racing game. So I could go a little bit into like this game. So this is Burnout, and you know, for those of you who may not know, Burnout is or I should say Burnout was a very popular racing franchise pretty much during the decade of the 2000s. The first game, this game came out in 2001. It was made by Acclaim and by it was published by Acclaim, developed by Criterion Games, which, you know, a lot of you would probably recognize today as like one of the prominent developers of EA. They're known for making the Need for Speed, or the modern Need for Speed games like Hot Pursuit, Most Wanted 2012, and what's the other one? Oh, the new one that just came out, it didn't just come out, but like the latest one, which is what is it called? Unbound. And then they also, damn it, they also occasionally help out with the Battlefield games, and I think also Battlefront when EA DICE was still making Battlefront games, because Criterion for the most part has developed racing games. So I think Criterion helps develop like the controls and the gameplay for the vehicles and like the Battlefield games and like the Battlefront games, because vehicles do play a huge part in those games. So yeah, the first game came out in 2001. Came out for, I think, only the GameCube and the PlayStation 2. And yeah, as you can see, this game it's a very simple arcade racer. It is, you can see it is very much a product of its time. I mean, you're talking about an arcade racer, a home console arcade racer that, keep in mind, this game never was released on arcades, but it has a checkpoint. It has a checkpoint system, which is something that you really only see in arcade, like not the genre arcade racers. Man, this is gonna be a little confusing, but like racing games that you see in arcade cabinets. You know, like racing games from the 90s and whatnot that you would see in arcades. They had these. They would have you race with the timer, and you had to like cross the checkpoints to extend your time, because if you ran out of time, then your race was pretty much over. You know, I guess it was a way to kind of, you know, get people like in arcade cabinets not driving too long, I guess, if you weren't skilled enough, or maybe fork over more quarters if you really wanted to continue the race or whatever. But yeah, so very simplistic. I mean, you have a small roster of cars. Oh damn. Yeah, you have a small roster of cars. Not a lot of customization. The physics and handling model in this game are very arcadey. You know, pretty much nothing like a sim racer. So if you're looking for realism, yeah, this game probably isn't it. That's just how it is. But the main selling point of this game is the crashes. So while the handling and whatnot might not be super realistic, what is realistic compared to other race, or I should say like other arcade racers, and you know what, I'd say yeah, even like a lot of Sims to some extent, are the crashes. Because in a lot of other racing games, you know, you crash into a car, you crash into traffic, and you just, you know, you lose a lot of speed, but like you could recover really easily and whatnot. But in this game, you hit, if you hit a car, if you hit a wall with enough speed and force, you crash. And that was pretty revolutionary at the time this game came out, because I think when this game came out, I can't really think of a lot of racing games that had yeah, I can't really think of a lot of racing games that had that actually had you crash and wipe out if you hit another vehicle or if you hit a wall. And if they did, I mean, they were pretty exaggerated and whatnot. Like, the one that comes to mind is like Daytona, USA. Like if you hit the wall hard enough, or I think if you also hit like your opponents hard enough, like your car would basically like fly into the air and flip around. But I mean, you could recover pretty quickly. Here though, like you actually crash, and like you get a crash cam, and crashing, it can be really punishing in this game, as you've seen me crash a few times already. You're just stuck there for a few seconds, like immobilized, not being able to do anything, and you just gotta wait to respawn back on the track. So yeah, this is Burnout. It's the first Burnout game, and for those of you who like probably know like the modern Burnout games, yeah, this game is very different from like the Burnout you probably know. It's actually been said, yeah, it's actually been said that this Burnout game is actually the hardest. This Burnout game is actually the hardest. It's the hardest Burnout game in the entire franchise, even though it's the most simplistic. But it's only because, you know, I guess like compared to the other Burnout games, it's the more realistic of the bunch. And because, you know, the whole point of this game was really like to kind of make I guess to really show like the danger, the thrill and danger of like street racing on public roads. You know, you're doing your normal racing, and but you got traffic involved, and it's just like you really want to be careful and avoid wiping out, because it really is like punishing in this game. Yeah, and like I think what I've heard is like the traffic AI in this game can be a bit crazy. You do often, the traffic does often blindside you a lot in this game. So yeah, I think that's like one of the reasons why this game is considered the hardest. It's just because, yeah, you see like right there, I hit that car and the game didn't register it as a crash, but sometimes like I don't know, like the game is also inconsistent with like what it considers as a crash and what it doesn't. But yeah, like also like I said, you can really get blindsided by traffic a lot, like that. I didn't really get much of a chance to see that car coming. And then you also have a boost meter too. And the thing about the boost is, yeah, the thing about the boost is you only fill it up. You can only fill it up by driving dangerously. So things like, you know, narrowly avoiding traffic, driving on the wrong side of the road, doing drifting, some airtime. I think that's it, really. And then if you crash, you lose a good chunk of your boost. And unlike other games that have boosts, like a boost mechanic, this game you can't use your boost until you fill up your meter all the way. So like as you see my meter right now, I can't use any of that until it's full. And then once it's full, you basically gotta commit to the boost, because I think once you let go of the boost button while boosting, you can't boost. I don't think you can boost again until you refill the meter. So yeah, the boosting is also like a bit like hard to use in this game. Oh, that's another thing that makes this game really hard, is the rubber banding. So the opponents in this game just have some crazy rubber banding. You could really just go on a boost, like use a whole charge of your boost, not hit any traffic, and somehow like, yeah, you see, like they just passed me. So this game does have some very like aggressive rubber banding, which, you know, for those of you who don't... God damn it. See, I only crashed there just because my opponent crashed. Oh, damn. Let's see here. Oh, damn. God damn. Oh, what the hell happened there? We all just took each other out. What the hell? I don't even want to know how far the dude in first is. And I think that's another thing too, because there's only a total of 4 racers in the race. I think you had to like place first to be able. Actually, no, I don't think that's the case. I could be wrong. We'll see at the end of this race what happens if I don't pass this guy. Damn it. That's one thing I've always really liked about this game is so if you guys noticed, the music changed. So we had different music at the beginning of the race, but after you crash, I think like at least three to four times in a race, the music changes to a more intense version of the like standard like race music of the track you're on, which I like. It really does heighten like the intensity of like the race. Oh yeah, you see, the traffic can be a bit twitchy. It actually reacts to you. Ah! Oh no. Oh, thank you. $50,000. That's another thing I like about this game too. So it actually tells you like the amount of damage you do in insurance values. Okay, so I didn't win this race. I got second. But I think that's enough to qualify. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so in this game, the main campaign is like the championships you got. Biggest crashes. Damn. I had a crash that had a total of $110,284. That's crazy. I got one of the fastest laps though. Best drivers, which I mean it's just a score really. Worst driver. I did a total of 40,000. No, that's not 40,000. $405,284 worth of damages. That's crazy. Let's see here. Okay, so this is the final race, and yeah, as you see, like, you got tournaments, and you have a number of credits, which is basically the amount of retries you got if you don't qualify. And if you run out of credits, you basically have to you basically get disqualified from the yeah, you get disqualified from the championship, and then you're forced to do it again. And yeah, so as you can see, this is like a tournament style race, or this is like a tournament style competition. And when it comes to tournament style or to tournaments and races, like I've noticed racing games like to handle things differently, especially in older games. So in newer games, the way a lot of tournaments work is like you get a amount of score. Yeah, you get like a certain amount of points for the position you place, and basically at the end of the tournament, you tally up all the points, and whoever has the most points, yeah, whoever has the most points wins the tournament. But like in older games, they do it where it's more of like, alright, you have to qualify past a certain position to advance, and if you don't qualify, you don't win. So that's what this game does. Each race you have to basically qualify past a certain position. So like with this race, I have to essentially place in the top 2 to win. Now, I don't know why they do that. I mean, I think it's a little odd, but I guess. Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, you see, I'm a bit of a daredevil. I like to drive on oncoming traffic. Which... Oh, what the hell? Okay. Good thing the game didn't register that as, like, a crash. Alright, let's use the boost. And then if you, that's another way you can earn a lot of boost in this game. If you basically use a full charge of your boost without crashing or letting go of the boost button before it's over, you basically get a burnout. And what that does is it basically, when your boost meter is fully depleted after your boost charge, you automatically get half of your boost gauge refilled. So it really does pay to, like, you know, like, be a little risky with your driving. As you'll see right now, you see? I got like half my boost gauge filled for doing a burnout. It's crazy, cause this was, you know, this actually wasn't my first Burnout game. I think the first Burnout game I ever played was Burnout 3 Takedown, and I only played it through the demo of the game that was available in Need for Speed Underground 2. Oh man, I'm in second now. See, you see what I mean though? Like, I was driving so well for like pretty much the majority of this race. I think that was like the first or second time I crashed, and I did like 2 burnouts, and yet these guys were able to like pass me very quickly. So this game is a bit challenging and can be a bit unforgiving. It isn't like the hardest racing game I ever played, but I mean, it is up there. Yeah, like little kid me, well, I should talk about like the first Burnout game I had. Yeah, so Burnout 3 Takedown was the first Burnout game I ever played. The first one I ever owned was Burnout Revenge. Wait, was it Revenge? Yeah. Actually, I don't know. It was between this one or Revenge, but I remember I got this game for the GameCube because one time I went to, what is it? I went to a Hollywood Video when they used to like have those, and they had like a game section, and I bought like a used copy of this game because I saw it said Burnout. I was like, oh, I love Burnout. And man, I was so shocked when I played this because it was nothing like Burnout 3, like nothing. But regardless of, I still liked it. I still like this game to this day. I liked it back then, but back then this game was really hard for me to play. It really was. But anyways, well, I finished the first Grand Prix. We've unlocked face-off number 1, which I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that right now. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do the face-off before we do the next Grand Prix.